Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with another transfer talk show. Please do smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. We have had some fantastic support over the last couple of weeks. We are over 4,500 subscribers, but we want to hit 5K. So do help us get there by liking, subscribing, and comment below your thoughts on the players linked to go in and move out from Aston Villa. So starting off with the outgoings, it's been reported in the Daily Telegraph now, and we've kind of known for a little while that Diego Carlos was potentially available for transfer, but it has intensified over the last few days, and Fulham are really pushing to sign Diego Carlos, 31 years of age now, 2 years left on his contract. I think West Ham believed to be interested as well. They've obviously just sold or are selling Zuma, but looks like they're signing Todibo. So probably Fulham looks like the most likely destination if he doesn't go back to Spain, because there was talk of Seville interested as well. But we're probably talking, what, 15, 20 million, I would imagine, 2 years after his contract, but at 31 years of age, however experienced Premier League player now, but probably one that, as Villa supporters, we think good player, but someone who we could probably sell and look to strengthen elsewhere. Now, the central defence area is probably an area where we need to strengthen, even if we kept Diego Carlos. We've obviously got Pau Torres, Ezri Konsa to come back. Lamar Boga has done very well, and he looks like he's going to sign a long-term deal and probably stick around with the first team as well. But we're struggling around that, particularly if we do sell Diego Carlos. And there's been talk of Joe Gomez if we do move Diego Carlos on. Now, we talked about him on the fans forum the other night, so do check that out. But experienced player, 27 years of age, England international, been at Liverpool now since 2015, appeared 140 times, so has struggled with injury from time to time, but very versatile player, 6'2", so he's got that profile, but can play across the back four, really. Can play right back, can play left back, and can play central defence, and 15 caps for England, and as I say, 140 games for Liverpool. Hasn't scored yet for them, but if we have a look at his SOFA score ratings, we know, like I say, he's a good player. Hasn't featured too much across last season. Did play 32 games in total in the Premier League, but only 17 starts. Didn't score, as I say. Did feature quite a lot towards the end of the season. One assist, so and he's more of a solid defender, I would say, and someone who knows how to keep the ball. 86% in terms of our passing accuracy, 91% in his own half, and 78% in the opposition half. 59% accuracy in terms of chipped passes as well. 5 clean sheets, so very good defender. 3.5 ball recoveries per game, 1.5 tackles per game. Only gets dribbled past once per game as well. So very solid in terms of his own defensive ability. Aerial duels 74% won, and total duels won at 54%. So we know he's a solid defender. We know he reads the game very well. We know he can keep the ball very well. He's been part of a Liverpool side that's very, very good. So in my opinion, I think he would be a very useful player, and I would welcome that signing. They're talking sort of 40 million ish. I think that's probably a little bit too high for my liking. And also from a Joe Gomez perspective, we've got Pau Torres and Ezri Konsa, that is clearly the number one central defensive partnership. We've got at the moment Luca Dean and Ian Matson as the left-sided defensive operation, and then we've got Matty Cash and Nedeljkovic, which probably does need strengthening, which I'll talk about in a second, on the right back. If I was Joe Gomez, I'd want to go into a side that would be guaranteeing me first team football. Now, would Villa be guaranteeing him first team football? Probably not. So that's the risk that he's got to take. Obviously, he's going into a side that's in the Champions League, finished in the top four last season. He doesn't want his profile to drop any further, but he wants to go into a side where he's going to get regular first team football, which could Aston Villa realistically give him. You could say, yes, Pau Torres had some injuries last season. There's going to be opportunities to play in different positions. Does he want to nail down a specific position? That's the question as well. So I think there's some questions that he would have to answer in terms of going to Aston Villa, but in terms of his profile, in terms of staying with a Champions League club, I can see a lot of sense in this move. And I think in terms of experience, in terms of his overall ability, I think that would be a really good signing for Aston Villa, in my opinion. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And finally, earlier on in the day, it was put out that Villa were interested in signing Lucharel Geertruida. I hope I've got that right. So our Dutch viewers will help me with that pronunciation. But plays for Feyenoord and is coming up to the last year of his contract. He's captained the side with Feyenoord and appeared 141 times since 2017, scoring 19 goals, and does have full caps for the Netherlands, right from under 16s through to the senior side, where he's got 11 caps. And numerous pundits, numerous famous Dutch ex-Netherlands players have said that he is ready to take the next step. And Aston Villa are apparently in talks with him about being that next step. Also, RB Leipzig interested, 24 years of age, can play right back, can play central defence, and can play in defensive midfield. Obviously got those attributes, to get forward, can also defend, and is a powerful player, very very good in terms of his athletic ability as well. So I think this would be an interesting signing, and one that probably fits the profile that Unai Emery looks for a little bit more maybe than Joe Gomez would. But if we look at his heat map here, obviously, as I said, can play right back, can play centre back. Strengths of ground duels as well. Operates up that right hand side. Maybe not too much in terms of attacking and towards the box. So maybe more of that solid defensive minded right back. So could suit a Leon Bailey type player in terms of giving him the ball and letting him attack 1v1. 34 games played, 34 starts, 8 goals. So obviously knows where the goal is as well, which is good. 9 big chances missed. So in terms of that, where is he? Is that set pieces? Is that cutting in and shooting from outside the box? Is that at the times that he does get in the box, is he really deadly in terms of his finishing ability? Because that's pretty good. 1 headed goal, 1 left foot goal, and 6 right foot goals. Has 5 assists as well and created 7 big chances. So obviously the Eredivisie isn't of the standard of the Premier League, but you look at these stats and you think if you could translate some of that into the Premier League, then that is going to be some really good numbers, and that is a really good indication of him being able to translate that into Premier League football. 92% passing accuracy, 95% in his own half, 88% in the opposition half, 56% in terms of accurate long balls, 15 clean sheets. Obviously, Feyenoord, number 1 team in Holland, in the Netherlands, 5.4 ball recoveries per game. So obviously can get back and recover very, very well. And 58% in terms of successful dribbles and 64% in terms of aerial duels won. So performed very, very well in the Dutch league, and obviously now is ready to take that step. Now, how much he would cost going into the last year of his contract, I would probably say around the 15 million mark would probably be something in a realistic figure. So does that translate to Diego Carlos going to Fulham? Geertruida coming to Aston Villa? You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. That signing, I have to hold my hands up. I'm not clued up specifically on him as a player, but he does look very, very good from those statistics and from the profile of player that we potentially need, particularly in that right back slot. I want to see Ezri Konsa playing as the right centre back. Matty Cash, as willing as he is, and as good as and effective as he can be in certain games, is he consistent enough? Is he under enough pressure in terms of his place to give consistent performances and be able to take that step up to Champions League level? Is Nedeljkovic, or as promising as he's been in pre-season, he's only 18. Will he be able to provide enough competition? Will Unai Emery trust him enough to put him into the side? Those are the questions. So for me, I would want another player at right back, and Geertruida looks like he offers something slightly different to what those two players offer. So I think that would be a very useful signing, particularly in terms of the versatility. You could play him as the right centre back and maybe play Ezri Konsa at right back on occasion. So that one does make sense to me. Plus also Joe Gomez as well. If it was me, I would probably look to sign both. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. We'll be back maybe tonight with a match preview for our final pre-season game against Dortmund, and also reflecting a little bit on the Bilbao game as well, because I think that performance showed us of something a little bit more like Aston Villa, which was really pleasing to see. We'll also be back with season predictions next week, match preview for the upcoming West Ham game, first game of the season, fans forum, you name it, we'll be back. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, get your comments in below. Thank you for watching, and as always, remember, we all follow the Villa.